Well, howdy, y'all. Today we're going to be taking a walk through the Wild Wild West. We're going to be traveling those dusty trails with our 6-shooters in hand, and we're going to go on a good old monster hunt. And it's going to be a fun one. But first, I want to remind you that, of course, as always, I have books for sale. You can find the link in the description. I have 2 horror anthologies and a slasher comedy novelette set in a retirement home called Brookhaven. That one's only $1, so be sure to check out that link. And also, it's here, finally. The book Ooze, Little Burst of Body Horror. That is available right now. Happy release date of that. And there's a link down below where you can read my story along with 20 other authors to get your ooey gooey body horror on. And it is available now in paperback or ebook. So check out that link, get your copy today, and let's get on with the video. All right. So the book we're going to be talking about today is called Melinda West, Monster Gunslinger by Casey Grifant. This is a book that is set in the good old Wild Wild West. And of course it has monsters. It's right there in the title. But this is one of those books that it's fun to read. The monsters in question are absolutely frightening and disgusting. And Melinda West and her partner, they have a nice little business collecting bounties on the heads of these monsters when they come forth from an area where they're supposed to live. They're kind of in a truce with people, and they're supposed to stay over there. People aren't supposed to go in. But that truce has been broken because these things are basically giant, huge, horrifying, man-eating bugs and insects. In fact, in the very first part of the book, the very first chapter, we see Melinda and her partner. They're taking a bounty in a certain town, and they're fighting a swarm of giant flying scorpions with their pointers as long as their little stingers, as long as your arm. And it's very frightening because they swarm and they're trying to get at the humans. And Melinda and her partner has to fight them off. That's how they make their living. They want to retire. They're trying to get enough money to retire. They think this might be their last bounty they take, and hopefully they have enough money to just settle into a nice normal life. But of course they don't, because this is a horror book. They do use their traditional rifles and 6-shooters and everything. But they also have a friend back home, a man, who makes them certain weapons that weren't really available at the time. Special weapons, specifically to fight these bugs and insects. And in this world, there are people and things that will steal a person's soul. Supernatural beings that will steal a person's soul. And this friend of theirs has his soul stolen, and now he lays dying. And Melinda and her partner know that they have one last thing to do before they can retire. Because they don't want their friend to die, they have to track down the evil that is responsible for this, get this man's soul back before he dies. And that's going to lead them into some very terrifying situations. But this book is such a great Western, You can feel the dust in your lungs as they're riding that old trail on their horses. There's lots of shootouts. There's lots of action. They go to these small little towns. You got the sheriff, and you got the saloons, and you got the brothels and everything. And along the way, we're going to meet some other characters also, which really makes this book very well-rounded. Now, some of these characters, we know right away that they're either good or they're not so good. They're either friendly toward Melinda and her partner or they are not. But then there are some we just don't know. There's one woman in particular they meet who seems to want to thwart them at every turn as they're seeking out where the soul could go and places they have to go to seek it out and to try to get it back to save their friend. And this woman always seems to be popping up, getting in their way. But then again, she's not really trying to kill them. because she could have done that several times, but she's just trying to interrupt them from going about their business. So there's a little bit of mystery around her, and I really like that side character there, because it did add that hint of mystery to the story. And we are going to find out about her, what she's all about, whether she is a friend or is a foe. I'm not going to give anything away. You'll have to find that out for yourself. But it's a very interesting ride to get to the point where we find out what's happening. And as they seek this soul, and as they meet other people, and the good guys and the bad guys, they get into a lot of adventures. They get into a lot of shootouts. They come across other of these monsters that are supposed to live away from the humans, but somehow they've been disturbed and they are now swarming out and trying to kill everything in sight. So they have to deal with all that. They have to deal with the other humans, and it's just a great fun adventure. And at the end, we're gonna find out exactly what went on, because to get this soul back, Melinda West and her partner are going to have to go into a place where no human has ever gone, where no humans are supposed to go. That's into the lair of these creatures. They're going to go in there. They're going to find out what exactly is up. And maybe they'll survive, maybe they won't. It's almost everybody tells them, and they themselves believe it's a suicide mission to do this thing. But they are going to go, and I'm not going to give away any spoilers of what happens, but it gets very dark, very frightening once they get in there, and you'll be on the edge of your seat just waiting to see what happens, if they're going to make it or if they don't make it, or whatever is going to happen. This is a fantastic, fun novel, and if you like the big bug movies, the big giant bug movies, if you like a lot of action, if you like that Old West feel, you are going to love this book. It's very well written. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and I can't recommend it enough. It's an excellent, excellent book. And I will leave a link down below where you can purchase your copy on Amazon if you want to. And I recommend that you do. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.